for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise, as you have stated, to request an emergency debate and to request, pursuant to Standing Order 52, that in making this leave of motion that this House do now adjourn. The reason for this emergency motion is recent reports published, admittedly on September 17th, but the gravity of the science contained in this news is one that takes a while to see permeate into Parliament. I'd hope to see from the government side an increased focus on climate action with a specific concern related to this entirely Canadian impact. I refer, of course, to the report in Nature Climate Change. The title of the scientific report is, quote, Rapid Coastal Deoxygenation Due to Ocean Circulation Shift in the Northwest Atlantic. This report is a result of an international effort, scientists from University of Washington, University of California, Los Angeles, a number of other U.S. universities, as well as Dalhousie University, McGill University, and a scientist from within the federal government's own Department of Fisheries and Oceans, all of whom are saying something quite alarming, that while scientists have been tracking what is a global phenomenon, as reported in Science magazine earlier this year, that the whole of the oceans of the whole planet are losing oxygen content, that our own Gulf of St. Lawrence, fully within Canadian waters, may be, in the words of one of the scientists, quote, the canary in the coal mine. For those who don't know the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and I certainly know that you know the Gulf of St. Lawrence, Mr. Speaker, being a member of Parliament as well as Speaker, but coming from Atlantic Canada, the Gulf of St. Lawrence is bordered by Quebec, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, contains all of Prince Edward Island, and coastal New Brunswick. C'est une région extraordinaire.
It's an extraordinary region with a wealth of marine life, almost the richest throughout the world, with the fishery, and it provides a great deal of value to our economy.
Value of fish species from plaice, halibut, wolffish, haddock, hake, monkfish, redfish, flounder, herring, crab, lobster, as well as aquaculture in that region of billions of dollars, $1 billion a year at least, plus tourism. The emergency is this, Mr. Speaker. The death of the Gulf of St. Lawrence is a disaster, economically, ecologically, socially. The terminus of the moment to save it could be as soon as 4 years from now, which requires real action on an emergency basis. I can see my time is at an end, Mr. Speaker. I begged this House, and I beg you, sir, to allow this House to treat this as the emergency it is.
I thank the honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands for raising her request. Of course, she recognizes the Standing Order 52 requires that a matter be not only specific and important, even grave, but it's about the urgency of the matter in terms of Parliament dealing with it and so forth. And I do not find that this, well, there's no question it seems to be very important and of interest. I don't find that it meets the exigencies of the strict wording of the Standing Order.